In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Frank Masterson.
Y'all may be seated. Alrighty. Appreciate y'all for joining up. We'll go ahead and make sure everybody's seated. Thank you. Alright. It's Thursday, January 2nd, approximately 8 p.m. Court is now in session. Appreciate everybody for making it out here. So the hearing that we are gathered here for today is the organization Black Mafia Family versus the state. So we have, I'm assuming these are all I see the inmates over here shackled up as well. Appreciate y'all for coming out. And we got the defense side over here. All right, cool. I'm going to explain a little bit about how this is going to go. All right, and then we're going to move forward from there. Since this is a peculiar case, I see that this is involving multiple different people, also involving multiple different charges, with sorry, excuse my French, but that's a ton of evidence in there as well. So we're gonna have a hearing about this today. All right, we're gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna give both parties a chance for opening statements. So normally it's a minute 30 opening statements, but due to the large number of charges and number of people that we're dealing with today, we'll go ahead and give each and every side 3 minutes as an opening statement, starting off with the defense attorney's side. Now, before we get into that, after we get into the opening statements, I'm going to review some evidence for you, give all of you a summary, and then we'll move forward from there. With that being said, please keep the outbreaks to a minimal. I know this is a high-profile case. I'm going to ask everybody to turn off their cell phones, no recording in the courtroom, no audio devices as well, and of course, no speaking with the press. All right, we want to keep everything within the courtroom. All right, defense attorney Dos Santos, are you okay to make the opening statement?
Said the defense was going first, Your Honor.
No, sir. I pointed at you.
Okay, so the prosecution.
Yeah.
All right. Good evening, people. Good evening, Your Honor. I'm glad that you could all make it out tonight. The state has gathered up enough evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendants sitting here today are in fact guilty of several crimes, including capital murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to commit murder, false imprisonment, and a slew of other charges. All right. We have hundreds of documents to support our case. All right. The evidence will show that. All right. Trey Johnson over here, he is the leader of the BMF organization. They came into our city a few months ago. Okay. They came into our city a few months ago. All right. Ever since then, our city has received the highest crime rate that we have seen in years. Okay. These guys are, in fact, guilty of all of these heinous crimes. I believe that they are menaces to society, and they should not see the light of day again. Okay. The evidence will show that. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate that. And I believe, Mr. Starkey, you're representing your clients. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, Mr. Starkey, you may step forward. Of course, 3 minutes on the clock.
Yes, sir. So, the prosecuting side over here says they have a multitude of evidence. Cool. The first question that I asked them when I first came in was, do you have any weapons that were used in these crimes? They answered no. Secondly, I don't know how you can sit there and profile people through traffic cameras from inside tinted vehicles, for one. People have tinted vehicles. Secondly, these officers have been accused of hitting my clients with cars, hitting other people with cars. These officers are just all over the place. The PD's not ran properly. There's officers committing crimes left and right. If I look back on it, I believe The police
Objection,
was
not
accused
obtaining
of
to the
assaulting
case.
people.
Objection, not
Uh-huh.
obtaining to the case.
Sir, all right. I'm gonna
Anyways,
sustain
like I
that.
was saying,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
opening statements. We're gonna try and refrain from any type of objections. I refrain from his.
He did object me, Your
Refrain
Honor.
from any type of objections.
anyways, like I'm saying, there was
We
also
can. We can, sir. And please, I'm gonna need the snide comments to a minimum. Appreciate that.
anyways, like I was saying, the police say they have all this evidence, but at the end of the day, I've watched them tamper with it, do any way, shape, or form to make my clients look guilty, and I'm not gonna have it, and everything will be shown here soon. So other than that, that's all I gotta say. Good luck, prosecutors.
Alright. I appreciate everyone for
Your
both of you
Honor,
for making those statements.
I would like to request
Yes,
if my ADA would like to have something
Defense
to
Attorney
say
Dos
as well.
Santos.
My time was about a minute and 30 seconds. I left another minute and 30 for him to say his piece as well. If you could respect that, I
That
would
should have
greatly
been
appreciate
that should have been said before when the floor was yours.
I thought you would have
The
announced
floor
it,
is no
Your
longer
Honor,
yours.
but that's my mistake. I'll announce it next time.
Yep. Next time we'll hear from him as well. Don't worry, he'll have plenty of opportunity to speak.
Absolutely.
Yep. Appreciate that. All right. So now that we had a chance to hear from both sides, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and review some of the evidences. Matter of fact, Defense Attorney Dos Santos or Mr. A.D. Hernandez,
So District
would
Attorney
one
Dos
of
Santos,
you,
sir. District Attorney.
yeah,
Dos Santos.
would one of you step forward and explain to us the charges brought forth today?
ADA, you want to take over?
I got you. Good evening, Your Honor. Today we are coming to give these people the charges of our main conspiracies are capital murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder of LEO, kidnapping, false imprisonment, racketeering, and drug trafficking. Those are just a small list of how much we really want to put on them, but
I understand. I also understand that you've brought to my attention and y'all have submitted the proper paperwork in requiring a warrant for their arrests. I have a signed copy of that. I'm reviewing that right now as we speak. Let's take a look at this. Yikes. All right. And at the time of the arrest, what was these gentlemen and lady was doing? Why did y'all
can you
arrest them?
be specific on which arrest? Or the one that got him here?
Yes. The specific arrest that got them apprehended and locked up.
Specific arrests is we had a warrant out for all of them. That was Prince. We have Lil. I don't want to go by their. I'm gonna go by their real aliases. Trey Johnson, Kaden Washington, J. Dot, Parky Vario, Kelly Houston, Jay Sav, and I want to say J. Dot Lanzi. I forgot to say that last name. And they all had a warrant for their arrest, and they were seen by our helicopter Air One on Chamberlain, and they reported to us, and we immediately did what we have to do.
All right. So I'm gonna read out a warrant, and I'm just gonna need you to confirm whether or not this is the correct warrant, because I'm looking at Trey Johnson Jr.'s warrant. Need everybody listen up and pay attention. So within the
Objection.
warrant,
There's no Trey Johnson Jr. I'm not representing a Trey Johnson Jr.
Objection.
yes.
That is the name that
Hold
he has
on.
been going by for the past few months, ever since he's been in the city.
Okay.
That's what's in the system, and that's what his record
Hey,
is.
shh. You can't object.
All right. Hold on. Now we have a little discrepancy going on. Okay. Trey Johnson Jr. District Attorney Dos Santos. Who's Trey Johnson Jr.?
We'll show you. Am I allowed to stand up and show you which defendant, sir?
Absolutely. You may stand up and point.
He goes by Smooth Prince. This African American man right
Back
here.
up away from my clients, please. Thank you.
All right.
Close.
Yeah. You go ahead and sit down. You're okay. All right. We have a bailiff here. He's standing by. You're good. All right. And Mr. Starkey, you're saying that there's an objection?
Yes, sir. After
what are we
after that warrant came across my desk, I looked at it and I looked further into it. That is not the name of any of my clients. I have a Trey Johnson, not a Trey Johnson Jr. So again, that warrant was messed up on PD's end, and then they still went ahead and executed it and arrested someone that doesn't go by the name Trey Johnson Jr. I've never heard of a last name being Jr. Like JR. Let's be for real here.
I have heard of last names being Junior.
It's
Right
not, it's
now,
not my
so
clients.
okay. For now, I'm gonna overrule it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move along with the warrant itself. I'm gonna go under the impression that this man is Trey Johnson Jr. For legality purposes, what is his real name?
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Mine? You pointing
No,
at me.
not you, bro.
Kaden Washington.
That's Kate. No, he's talking about Prince. Prince, go ahead.
Trey Johnson.
Okay, so it's Trey Johnson. That's your name. Got you. So
Ah,
the junior is incorrect. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Like I said, I'm gonna overrule that objection. We're gonna go ahead and move forward. I'm gonna read out the warrant itself. All right. So this warrant is issued for Trey Johnson Jr. We'll go ahead and strike out the junior for all purposes moving forward. His name is Trey Johnson. This offense is briefly described as follows. On Monday, December 9th, a confidential informant by the name of J. Lanes agreed to go on an assignment to get more information about the BMF and 50 Boys organization. BMF being Big Mafia Family. Mr. Lanes was sent out and supposed to report back to us, but never did. His radio and badge was never found. All signals have not come back, rising suspicion. He was sent to deal with the organization with solid information regarding drug dealing and missing persons. The police has tried to follow up around the location, but have found zero evidence of foul play, almost like he vanished in thin air. On Thursday, December 12th, two undercover officers, Corporal Bond, badge number 7580, and Officer Puffer, badge number 3740, were sent over to the Rancho area to investigate the BMF and 50 Boys organization. This crew claims to be a record label, but have yet to release any official songs or albums to support that. Our undercovers went... I understand, and we can strike that from the record. That's extra information. Our undercovers were sent over to to Broad Ave and the surrounding areas to find out more information on said group pertaining a missing undercover officer, a separate kidnapping, drugs, and illegal firearms. These officers were sent over at 11:30 a.m. that morning with $3,500 each to spend on illegal drugs, if need be, for evidence. Around 16 o'clock p.m., we got radio back that they had made it on the scene. At 15:30 p.m., the footage cuts out and picks back up after they had already left the scene 2 hours later. We believe Trey Johnson Jr. is responsible for the kidnapping and murders of 3 local law enforcement officers and have the evidence to back it up. The defendant is also responsible for drug trafficking, solicitation of murder, money laundering, racketeering, extortion, and more. This man should not be allowed to walk on the streets like everyone else and should be detained immediately upon request following the search warrant of his homes and businesses. Was Assistant District Attorney Hernandez, was the search warrants on his businesses and houses ever completed?
to my knowledge, it was.
Okay. And do you have, I'm assuming you'll submit a list of what was found eventually, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Judge,
All right.
did you sign off on those search warrants?
Absolutely, I did. So, like
Okay,
I said, that
so-
was all done on legal matters.
Alrighty.
It does have
So
my
then
signature.
my next question again is why the prosecution failed to inform me that that was happening and show me that that was going to happen. Mind you, the prosecution has yet to tell me anything of what's going on. They failed to give me the proper evidence before
Objection.
trial or
We've kept
before
them
this
updated.
hearing.
Oh, it's okay. The prosecution. So this warrant was signed, I think, about a month ago. This was the warrant that was gonna lead them to their arrest. All right. So this is a search
Okay.
warrant, a seizure warrant, that was signed by myself, and
Okay.
that allowed them to carry out that
And
arrest.
what businesses and properties were it on? Was it on all or just singulars? Was there multiple search warrants filed out?
And properties related regarding their organization and history. And again, all of that information will come out more so during the trial. We have that evidence piled up. You yourself are allowed to review it. But for the sake of court purposes and today's purposes, since this is a preliminary hearing, we're gonna go ahead and move on just to get everybody on the same page. All right.
Sounds good.
Now moving forward. All right. So I had a chance to kind of explain to everyone how we came about over here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a short little recess. All right, give the the defense attorney as well as Mr. Starkey over here an opportunity to talk amongst yourself. If y'all could come to a plea agreement, whatever it is, y'all could feel free to use my my office room over here. The bailiff is gonna show you where that is. And then yeah, everybody else, we're gonna meet right back in the courtroom in 10 minutes. Okay, so it's 8:20 right now. In 8:30, we're gonna come right back. So in 10 minutes, I want everybody back in the courtroom. If you're not back in the courtroom seated, you will not be allowed inside. All right. All right. Court is adjourned.
Nah, C3, bro. Where you at?
Dog.
All right,
Yo.
I saw it all, bro. That's
Jury's
crazy.
Yo.
Twin, these
Let's go.
good.
Yes.
Got it right where we are. Look at this.
Man, they are done for, man. They are fucking done for, man.
It's gonna be a beautiful day today.
Yeah, yeah.
Good night.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Good evening.
gentlemen. Let's keep it cordial here.
What's
No
up?
funny business.
What's going on, man?
So what are you trying to put on the table, man?
All right. You're a reasonable man, right?
I'm reasonable to an extent, yeah.
Let's take a walk. All right.
I'm gonna put
Obviously,
myself right.
you've seen the evidence, correct? Did you look over it? I don't want to rush into things.
I haven't been able to get into the ticket.
All right. I
genuinely,
suggest you,
correctly.
you genuinely just look through it before we have this conversation.
We got it.
Yeah, from top to bottom, and then we could talk about the plea deals if you guys want to plead guilty.
Yes, yeah, man. I'm doing all this moving, man. Ah.
Ah, man, you been working out lately? 88, you look great for your age.
As soon as I heard, I had to stop, man. As soon as I heard about this case, man, it sucks, man.
Man, this might be the biggest case of our career. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. I'm looking over all the evidence. I know all of
Yeah.
the statements. Did you delete my statements that I posted or no?
No, I didn't delete anything.
So why is it not there?
If you want to send it
Someone
again
delete
just
my
for
evidence.
extra measures, that'll be great. All the
Before
witness
walk now,
statement.
let's go.
Come on. Yeah,
Alrighty.
Let's chat. Come on.
Let's walk this way. I like this way better.
All right. So, what do you think should happen to these guys? I mean, reviewing all the evidence and seeing all the crimes, especially after what happened in the jail cells the other night. I mean,
Well,
what do
you
wanna
see, you got a lot of written down evidence, mind you. A lot of your evidence that I just
do? We
looked
have
at with
CCTV. We have
cars and stuff like that. Like you can't see into those vehicles. You know that.
Okay.
That's just, you could say that's anybody. But for other evidence, you're right. It is pretty compelling.
Okay.
On the most part, for certain people though, and there's other people that you don't have much evidence on or have little to none evidence. Anyways, I've seen it. You got the most evidence you have is on Trey Johnson.
All right, and listen.
The most
Actually,
evidence you have.
But no,
we
we
have
have
evidence on
yes, we have
some-
on
yeah.
everybody else as well. And this is not everything. This is just for the
That
court
makes
here.
me think you didn't look over the evidence.
Yeah, come
man.
on, man.
I just see a
Don't
lot of Trey
bullshit me.
Johnson. I see a lot
Don't
of Trey
bullshit
Johnson,
me, man. Did you skim through it or did
don't
you
have to
actually
swear
go
here.
through it? Because
We
I'm not
don't- we
gonna
don't have
waste
to
time
swear
here.
here.
I'm not gonna
Again,
listen. I'm not
again.
gonna waste time here. And
So the whole point of this is for you to tell me a plea. This isn't a cat and mouse game where you tell me to go read some shit and we come back and talk about
no,
it.
because I'm not gonna
So now you're
talk to
gonna-
you.
you're gonna make
Listen,
me
you
aggravated.
don't. All right, we're done here. Come on,
You know what? If
ADA.
you can't come up
We're
with a
done
plea,
here.
it's all good. Judge will know that.
We already came up with our plea. We're just gonna negotiate, but no,
Okay.
we're not negotiating anymore. We'll see you for the hearing.
Remember, you came to us.
Come on. What does he think he is?
I don't know, man.
Smoking
Oh.
that good shit. Looks like we're going to trial. And we're ready. All right.
with the high ass
I'm,
fade.
I'm gonna need y'all to,
Yo,
you know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
bailiff.
Yo, that fade
here,
is
bro.
high-ish. Hold on.
Down
Yes,
here.
sir.
I'm sorry, top flight.
I'd
I'm
like
sorry,
those
top
two
flight.
people
I'm sorry.
removed from
Hold
the
on.
courtroom. I had the one with the blonde dreads come up and say something to my dude, and another one drink a bottle of alcohol in front of us. I like them both removed right now.
Who is this dude? That's why I hate these little dumb lawyers,
Come
bro.
here, come here, come here, come here. Come on.
Exactly why they're just gonna lose, bro.
Bailiff,
Thank
can you make sure that they don't come back in the courtroom, please?
Yes, sir. I
Yeah, what's
got
going
you.
on, officer?
Thank you very much.
All rise
Yeah,
for the
I was told by the-
honorable Judge Frank Masterson.
The bailiff said I could stand up right here.
Hey, y'all may be seated. Go ahead.
Take a seat, relax. All right, court is now in session. It is now 8:32 p.m. We are continuing the case of the case of Black Mafia family versus the state. The main conspirators, for just as a quick refresher, is Trey Johnson, aka Smooth Prince, Caden Washington, aka BMF Loke, J. Dot Lanes, aka BMF J. Dot, Parky Vario, aka BMF 40s, Kelly Houston, aka BMF Kelly, and J Sav, who does not have a nickname, I guess. Charges being capital murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder of LEO, kidnapping, false imprisonment, racketeering, drug trafficking. That's quite some hefty charges. All right, within the recess, I had some time to review some evidence. Now, the arrest warrant, the search seizures, all of that are came back very, very valid. Now, did the prosecuting the prosecuting side and the defense, did you guys have a chance to meet? Were you able to come to terms?
Yeah.
We
No,
met.
actually, they thought it'd be a great idea to question if getting down the business. So I want nothing to do with the prosecution. That whole side is filled with nonsense in their head. They'd rather question my literature if I read versus get down to business.
You
So,
skimmed over
no.
the evidence and tried
And
to
second, on
demand
second note, the
that
guy
we
that's sitting
drop the
behind me,
charges. So no, I'm done with him, Your Honor.
All right, all right.
and I'd like to say, Your Honor, the guy behind me, I asked to be removed, and he's back in this courtroom. He came over and started saying things to my clients over here before court came back.
All right. Just for purposes right now, if you don't, bailiff, if you don't mind just escorting the person at the back and have him just stand by security, please. We'll go ahead. Yep, the guy in the pink shirt, and then just have him stand by security. That's all. He could be here. All right, cool. So I'm assuming that means that no plea agreement was made today. Is that correct?
We do have an offer from the state.
All right. Just because I know that you couldn't hear it at the time, due to whatever happened between y'all. But if you wanted to present that plea agreement right now, by all means, the floor is yours. Defense Attorney Dos Santos, District Attorney Dos Santos.
Again, I would just like to thank everybody for coming out today. Again, all right. The state is asking for the maximum sentence for Mr. Trey Johnson. All right, for all of the crimes. If he pleads guilty, he'll get the maximum sentence, which would be 50 RPs, some time served, and he could apply for parole at the 30 mark. All right, if he's on good behavior, he could apply for parole and maybe get out early. All right, for the rest of them, we're asking for a quarter of that time, which would be around 15 RPs. They already got some time served, so they would spend the next 10. However, Trey, he would spend the next 40 to 45. However, if we take this to trial, we would like to send all of them away for life. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Dos Santos. You may be seated. All right. I know that knowing what you know now, Mr. Starkey, do you want a moment to review with your clients and discuss the betterment of your future?
Your Honor, I believe we're all on a knowing basis from the jump what we want to do here. I'll ask them quickly. Do y'all want to continue with what we were gonna do?
Continue.
Let's
All right. So, what we're gonna do here now, Your Honor, is considering Trey Johnson is obviously being charged with the more heinous crimes. I know that this will not be allowed, but this is until we go to trial. I'm gonna ask for the immediate release and place on house arrest along with ankle monitor of every other person that is so-called involved, due to the fact that the inhumane treatment that they have received while in custody, in holding, mind you. They're not being fed at proper times. They have been denied phone calls. I did not know
Objection.
until my clients were inside jail until it came across my desk.
Objection.
Nice shower.
What is your objection?
Definitely have a shower in a week.
Procedure.
Hold on, it's good. Shh.
Procedure.
What is your objection?
They get 3 meals a day and they get 1 phone call a day. We do not deny them of any phone calls. If they have any evidence to support that, I would love to see it. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anyways,
worries.
can I continue?
Yes, you may continue.
So we know that down in holding there's cameras, so we can go ahead and review the last week of footage. Another thing is my clients haven't showered. They've been denied showers.
Objection.
They haven't even been given 23 and 1.
Objection.
Can you?
Objection.
What is your objection?
Please keep this within RP confinements. All right. If we had a shower at the precinct, we would definitely bring them there. However, we do not have access to that. Thank you. Please keep it within
There
RP
we
and
go.
GTA confines. Thank you.
All right, that is sustained. Valid argument. Continue.
All right. But anyways, like I was saying, I'd like to. I've also handed what's his name, Detective Bandz, a letter for the immediate release, and watched him go ahead and put it in a paper shredder. Mind you, wouldn't you say that's tampering with a form of evidence, Judge?
That was a false document,
That would
forged.
forge. So, are you? Who are you again? Might I
I'm
ask? Because
the
I've never seen you
All
I'm
before.
the
right,
DA. That's
hold
what a
on.
homicide detective presented
I
me the
need
evidence.
some order in the court. I need
Order in the court.
everybody.
Order in the court.
The liar.
Man,
Thank,
take me back to jail. Bro.
Order
thank you,
in the court.
thank
Where
you,
he
Bailiff.
belongs.
Thank you,
Anyways,
Bailiff.
so this is my offer back to them. We have everyone else
Want to
released
hold up
on
your
house
voice, sir?
arrest and supervised until trial,
Order.
and
I
we have
would
Trey
like to
Johnson
remind
Jr.
you,
Oh,
Mr.
go
Starkey,
ahead.
I would like to remind you that the time of office and negotiation is done. I gave y'all a recess. I gave y'all time to discuss that. Y'all didn't want to
I'm
do
coming
that.
for you. This isn't with them. This is with you, Judge. Remember, you have the
Okay.
final say.
All right. Then step forward. I want to make sure I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, right here.
Appreciate that. All right. So go ahead. I know you were talking a little bit about having everybody else
So,
released on ankle monitors.
and on house arrest, correct? So they won't leave their premises. They
Okay.
will be monitored 24/7.
Yep.
It's morely of a fact that there's been too many allegations from my clients of harsh treatment. We could definitely go look at the cameras, and I don't see why that's an issue considering most of this evidence that's been submitted today has been put on Trey Johnson.
In the courtroom, can you please stand up? All right. And your alias is BMF little case. Allegedly. Okay, you can go ahead and sit down. All right. J. Dot Lanes. All right.
Not
No J.
present.
Dot Lanes. Got you. Parky Vario. I believe he had submitted a request to be represented on his own. Is that correct?
He's not present.
Okay. All righty. Kelly Houston. All right. Miss Kelly, you go ahead and sit down. And correct me if I'm wrong. Was there someone else that or are we missing a few folks? Dos Santos.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are. J. Dot
All right.
Lance. He flew from the city. He's fleeing. We haven't seen him for a few weeks now. And there are a few other attendees that have not shown up in court for whatever reason. I do not know.
Okay. All righty. Cool. So right now as it stands, Mr. Starkey, I hear you out and I understand. Until you can provide sufficient evidence, I would love to grant parole to your folks, but I will have to deny it at this point in time. Um Mr. Trey Johnson, all right. I want to talk to you directly for a second. And again, you don't gotta speak, just want to let you know a couple things. The evidence that has been submitted against you is phenomenal. In all my 50 years of being a judge, I have never seen this much evidence being submitted on a person identifying an organization. Not only as I don't understand how multiple law enforcement have undercover law enforcement have gone within your midst, and multiple of them have disappeared off the face of the map. That is something that has a lot of questions that need answering. So at this point in time, I'm going to ask that you do remain in custody until the duration of the trial. All right. You'll be refined to your cell. I'm going to make sure, again, I'm going to write out a court order. We're going to make sure that you guys get the 3 basic meals a day, phone calls, whatever it is. We'll make sure that all of you guys get your basic needs. But as far as whatever else goes, yeah, you're going to be staying in. Now I'm gonna move down the line, and you may be seated, Mr. Johnson. I'm gonna move down the line, and I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna tell each and every single one of you. So, Miss Kelly Houston, all right. Now you could go ahead and stand up for a sec. Now your name has come up multiple times during the court case. All right. At this point in time, I will deny the request of bail for you as well. All right, until we can prove sufficient evidence or you get good behavior, you can come out. I'm not saying that it isn't possible right now, but as far as right now at this point in time, your name has come up multiple times in relations with Mr. Johnson as well, and y'all being significant others. I think there's more to this right now as it is. Um, so as far as bail goes for you, yeah, that has to be denied as well. You can go ahead and be seated, Miss Houston. All right. Now I know that we're missing J. Dot Lanes as well as Parkivario, so we'll go ahead and talk about that later on. Mr. Caden Washington. All right. Now, Mr. Washington, I understand that you're young. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
19 years old, sir.
19 years old. All right. And I've looked through the evidence. Your name has come up quite sometimes. But at this point in time, I deem that you're not a flight risk due to your age. All right. So you are up for bond. Um, you'll need to pay your bond, obviously, to be able to be released out of jail. Bond is set at $175,000 for you. Okay. You go ahead and pay that. You can come out. As far as the trial goes, again, when you pay bond, you'll come out. You'll have an ankle monitor. You'll be on probation, so you have a parole officer. They'll consistently come and check on you. You'll be refined to a specific area until you prove, with good behavior over time, that you're responsible enough. So yeah, you can pay the bond. You'll be out in a jiffy. Otherwise, you'll also be reprimanded to yourself as well. As far as anyone else that I'm missing currently, Mr. Dos Santos, currently right now, these are the only people that have been brought to my attention. I'm assuming that there's nobody else that should be here, or if
Well,
they were, they would have been named in this report. Is that correct?
for the,
Or am I missing information?
for the moment, yes, Your Honor. This is all we have so far for today.
All right. Alrighty. Okay. So with that being said, um, we'll move forward with trial updates as well. So Mr. Starkey, you will have a chance and opportunity to review all of the evidence that has been submitted against you and your clients. I want you to also take a day to submit all of the evidence that you have pertaining that will help you with your case. I also want you to submit a witness list if you are going to be pulling up any witnesses.
Well, did they
Same thing goes
plead?
for you, Mr. Dos Santos.
Your Honor, did they plead not
All
guilty
right.
already? We're going to trial. It's official.
Objection.
I'm asking.
It's
I'm
got
Would you
nothing to
would
do
you
with the
like?
topic right now. It's got nothing to do with the topic right now.
What do you
Anyways,
mean?
I am gonna
We're
ask though. I am gonna
we're
ask right now
just
though.
We just still haven't gotten a
hold
plea.
on.
I don't know if you guys are pleading guilty or not
Yeah,
guilty.
we haven't gotten into it officially. I'm just
Okay, I was
breaking
just
down the
making
ground
sure,
rules
Your
of what
Honor.
happens in this
Yep,
situation.
yep,
Yep,
yep, yep.
you're okay.
Your Honor, if I may,
Continue. Yeah.
I would like to have these clients moved up to, since holding is not a place for people that are going to trial on federal charges, mind you. I think it's fit that they finally get moved up to the prison out in up north into Sandy Shores. It's if they're really gonna try them federally, there's no point to have them in holding anymore under these conditions that they've been living in.
Yeah.
If you want to
Mr.
proceed forward,
So, Mr. Starkey, I'll take that request into consideration. We'll go ahead and note that down for the paperwork. At this point in time, I do understand, being former law enforcement and all, that they some of them need to be in the holding cell just for budget reasons and whatnot. So I'll put in the request. Hopefully, we can get that sooner rather than later. But until then, they'll be reprimanded to the cells until they can get the
All right,
proper
come with me.
funding for that up north.
Come with me.
Is there something
Bailiff,
going on in the back room of the court?
bailiff.
Yeah, bailiff,
Yeah,
you
I
could.
need you to help me get him out.
Come on,
Yeah.
sir. Sure.
hold his ass in contempt.
All right. All right. So now, with the case presiding, Trey Johnson, Caden Washington, J. Dot Lanes, Parky Vario, Kelly Houston, and J. Sav, with the charges of capital murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder of R.I.C.O, kidnapping, false imprisonment, racketeering, and drug trafficking. Mr. Starkey, how do you and your clients wish to proceed?
Let's go to trial.
So not guilty, Your Honor. Well, not guilty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, not guilty.
Appreciate you. Okay. All right. Cool, Starkey.
Did you not hear what he said? He said life. Nigga, what the fuck? All right, go ahead. My bad, Yana.
I'm gonna ask that you, Mr. Starkey, you talk to your client. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No outbreaks in
can we
court.
get a 5 minute recess? Can I call that?
Nah,
5 minute
it's
recess.
5 minute recess. The time for 5 minute recess is over. So now we're moving a trial. Court's about to be adjourned, so y'all might as well just wait. You feel me?
You better sleep.
So I'm gonna explain to y'all how this process is gonna go. Like I said, now that we're officially moving towards a trial period, you guys are gonna have a day to submit all of your evidence. All right. So gather up all of your evidence, submit that in. Uh, Submit in your witnesses who you're gonna call. Make sure you check in with your witnesses. Make sure they're gonna pull up, and submit their names as well. So we have that for our records. All of that could be submitted on the ticket. You have access to that. All right. So, Mr. Starkey, you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to submit all of your pieces. You'll also be able to build a profile based off of what they have already submitted, the prosecuting side. Well, with that being said, the prosecuting side, I'm gonna ask you guys to again submit any further evidence. If you do, you have until tomorrow. I think you also might need to submit some witness statements and whatnot, and the witness names. So if y'all are gonna do
Certainly.
that, go ahead and all right, love it. Any other further evidence? Like I said, that ticket is gonna be closed tomorrow. All right, so y'all have 24 hours to submit all of the evidence, compile whatever you need, gather all the type of witness statements. After that, we'll go ahead and we'll start proceeding in trial. Um, with that being said, for everybody that made it to court today, I appreciate y'all. I'm expecting to see you guys every single court case that we have until this is over. With the presidings of Caden Washington, all right, you could go ahead and submit bail when you have that. Once you submit bail, you'll be able to be released on parole. You'll still be mandated to make court appearances. All right. So when we have court, you'll still have to come. You are still under trial. And if you are found guilty, you will be back in bars. All right. So do we have a clear understanding, Mr. Starkey?
Yes,
Bailiff.
Your Honor.
Bailiff.
All right, cool. Mr. Dos Santos, do we have a clear understanding?
Absolutely.
All
Can I point
righty.
out something, Your Honor?
No. With that being said, court is now adjourned. I appreciate all of y'all for coming.
Got some cigarettes, ADA?
In my face.
How about a
I got,
Ugly.
I got,
dinner on me?
Up.
How about
Nigga got
dinner
no
on me?
neck either.
you're mad. See y'all on trial.
What do you want, steak and lobster?